Hey all, EC here, and one of the most requested games for Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack since they unveiled N64 games has been Diddy Kong Racing. It is obviously a hugely popular game developed by Rare that came out for the Nintendo 64, and it was later remade for the DS, and it's not available on Switch Online. It's one of the three major Nintendo games that's not been made available on the service yet. Obviously, another one being Donkey Kong 64, and the other one besides them two being Super Smash Bros. But why is Diddy Kong Racing absent? Now, we're going to start out, we're going over the idea that it could be down to licensing. The licensing issue is quite obvious. If those that haven't played the original game back on the N64, there was a selection of characters that were owned by Rare in the game. Conker from Conker's Bad Fur Days and Banjo from Banjo-Kazooie. These characters are obviously not being owned by Rare. They're not owned by Nintendo, they're owned by Rare, which means they're Microsoft property. So in order for Nintendo to actually re-release this version of the game, they would have to sub-license the characters and sub-license the game from Rare, which, sure, I could see Nintendo doing, especially as Rare and Nintendo seem to have a better relationship as they ever have. You know, they've seemed to have a strong relationship now than they did before the Microsoft buyout. But I don't think Nintendo is going to willingly pay Rare extra money to license games just because of a few characters, especially when they already had a DS remake of Diddy Kong Racing back in the day. So I think the idea that they're just going to license the original version, and pay Rare some money might not happen. The other option they could do is cut the characters. They could cut the characters from, obviously, the game. They could obviously do a patch, remove Banjo and Conker as characters that are playable. However, I don't know how feasible that would be for a game that is so old, because obviously this game came out, in the 90s, so it's very unlikely they can just do a quick fix and really push out a new game. It'd be easier just to remake the game from scratch, and I don't see Nintendo doing that. Sadly, with Mario Kart World already out and Kirby Air Ride is coming soon, I don't see Nintendo, just going back and trying to remake Diddy Kong Racing to cut a few characters that, they can't legally use due to licensing issues. Now, the other thing people are going to say is like, oh, it's because of the real life Diddy. I don't think there's nothing to do with that. That's not relevant to this discussion, but people will make the comparison anyway because people thought Nintendo was phasing out Diddy Kong because of what the real life Diddy did. So don't read too much into that. That's clearly not relevant. I think a lot of it just comes down to, obviously, the licensing issues with the characters of Banjo and Conker, and also the fact that Nintendo, already has quite a few racing games coming out for Switch H2 and Switch at the minute, because you got Mario Kart World's just come out, you got Kirby Air Ride is coming soon as well, and I also feel like it's just drip feeding. It's just because Nintendo likes to drip feed their content. They like to just keep the flow of content coming, but obviously doing it like month by month. They spread out across multiple different systems. They have 8 different game consoles available from like their legacy and also Sega's legacy. So it's very unlikely that they're just doing it because they hate the game. It's probably come down to licensing, or it comes down to them just trying to drip feed and keep content going and keep people paying, which is the most annoying way of doing it, but it is a business decision at the end of the day, and that's probably what's going on. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Are you guys annoyed that Diddy Kong Racing is not available on Switch Online yet? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, like, share, all that sort of stuff. And I've been EC, and I'm signing out. Peace.